Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and episode 8 of Titans. Alright, this was a better episode. I'm going to take away that comment about the last 10 to 12 minutes of this episode. You know why. You know why. Anyhow, so, yeah, this really had a lot of good stuff in it. Had some bad, but that was relegated to the very end. Donna Troy, though, man. Dude, I could talk this whole entire episode about how amazing Donna Troy was and how much she is needed for this TV series, for the Titans to actually be the Titans. Going to talk a little bit about some of the negative comments that I'd gotten, which are all of them absurd. Without further explanation on their part, utterly absurd. It's the Titans, not the Teen Titans. You know there's no such thing as the Titans, right? Unless there's the Teen Titans. The Teen Titans came first, and then they became the Titans. And more than that, if you're an actual comic book enthusiast, if you're a comic book historian, if you're someone who actually reads the freaking comic books, you can go and check out my channel and see that I'm reviewing both the Teen Titans and Titans comic books. Neither of those teams act like this team. None of them. So there's that. Anyhow, if you don't read comic books, that's cool. You're, of course, perfectly allowed to watch these things. But this is a comic book channel that talks about all things comic book related. And yeah, I'm going to compare everything to the comic books because there wouldn't be this TV show without the comic books. So there's that. Anyhow, you're still entitled to your thoughts. Just, So yeah, this having Donna Troy in here, she's one of the original Titans, along with Dick Grayson. There was the comment here about how they were both sidekicks. That's how they both started out. What did she say? Older, smarter, better looking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all those and more. You could argue that he's a better fighter. And I don't know. That'd be hard pressed. But yeah, in a way. In a way. But yeah, this was, oh God, so good. Seeing those two together again. Dude, she is what's missing. She's probably that main key. You know, in fact, it's even more than that. It's even more than that because Raven's mom in this. Oof. Wow. Dude, I think that's what was really missing with this TV show was some estrogen. All right? Way too much testosterone. All right? And unfortunately, that's especially from Starfire. All right? That's not a commentary on her sexuality or anything like that, because there's always gonna be somebody who's gonna be like, I can't believe that you said. Shut up. Don't put words in my mouth, all right? I have more than enough words. You don't need to put them in my mouth, all right? But the idea is that way too much testosterone in this. Like it's too hard hitting, it's too dark. Vince McMahon's evil little fingers are all over this, you know what I'm saying? And like I could hear CM Punk sitting there. You think that this is gonna get better in the next season when Vince McMahon isn't doing this anymore? No, because it's just gonna be taken over by his what did he call her? Did he call her a retarded daughter? You know, saying the retarded daughter and his son-in-law. You know, saying the moronic son-in-law, and it's just gonna be as bad or worse than it ever was before. Like I can see CM Punk doing a freaking pipe bomb on this TV series right now, man. Oh. But then all of a sudden, a surprise run-in by, I don't know, who's somebody who we've always liked. I can't really say The Undertaker in this regard because he's dark. We could say Mankind. Surprise run-in by Mankind. Ah! You know what I'm saying? Here comes Donna Troy. Dude. So kind of from the beginning. Raven's interaction with her mom, more specifically, Raven's mom's interaction with Raven and with Beast Boy. Come on now. Beast Boy being awkward this entire episode. I think it was a great pullback from what happened in the recent. Dude, first off, I don't ever look to see who directed which episode, this, that, or the other thing or whatever. I don't do that. So I didn't pay attention, and nothing was meant to be directed towards anybody or anything. Brian Edward Hill, who actually directed the previous episode, probably one of the greatest guys on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Contacted me directly and was like, hey, man, I was just a small part of this. Like, no, I know. Like, there was no blame. I never once gave any blame to, if anything, I just gave it to Warner Brothers and DC directly. What are they freaking doing? And the only names I've ever really mentioned was Jeff Johns, who did have a direct hand in doing this. And I'm shocked that he was okay with how dark this is. and Zack Snyder, who DC and Warner Brothers have made their paragon god for all things here. Zack Snyder, mind you, the guy who said Christopher Nolan's Batmans, they weren't dark enough. He doesn't talk like that, but, they weren't dark enough, all right? If I were in charge of those Batman movies, I'd have had Batman prison raped. That's how dark I'd have gone. And I'd like to know one person, just one person, who could potentially at least pass a mental evaluation, raise their hand and say, that's what the DC Cinematic Universe is missing. Batman getting butt raped in prison. That's what we're missing. Nobody. I usually don't like to speak for people or to speak in extremes in that regard, but I'm going to do it this time. Nobody wants to see Batman butt raped in prison. Nobody wants to see a prison rape of Bruce freaking Wayne. It's nobody. Nobody's saying, Christian Bale got his virgin ass out of there alive, and that's why I don't like this movie. This thing should have went straight up Brokeback Mountain where he said, poo, and then just, that's what should have happened. No, ain't nobody saying that, man. No, again, nobody's going to pass a psych eval. So that's just unacceptable. Wow, I crack me up sometimes. So, dude, yeah, it's too dark. But I like that there was a little bit of a regression and they made Beast Boy a little... He's still never going to wash that blood off his hands or his mouth or the meat between his teeth of the freaking human who, God, if he swallowed once, that's it. He's a cannibal. It's done, all right? But anyway, made him a murderer, all that. Straight up, man. No. No. So they are kind of walking that back. Oh, and the point I was making before. Yeah, Brian Edward Hill actually did contact me in private DM on Twitter. I'm not going to go into the conversation because it was a private conversation. But he did say, and I was just like, dude, no. I love your work. I've got nothing bad to say about you directly, And he pointed out something which I think is kind of cool. He actually did this publicly on Twitter. It's the only reason I'm going to say that is that he says, Professor Bill has a big heart. That's why he doesn't like these things. And I wouldn't look at it that way myself, but okay, yeah, I could see that. I have seen some crappy things in my life. I don't want to see crappy things like that today on TV. I don't want to see war movies. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to see stuff like that. That's not, especially not my superheroes. You make a Punisher movie like that or a TV show, that's who the character is. He's staying within the confines of his character. These characters simply are not. And I know that he didn't directly do that. He didn't direct all of these. I'm pretty sure it would have been a very different show if he were directing all of them. Because he's got kind of a pretty big heart himself. So, anyway, all that aside, what do you call it? So you have Raven and her mom. Dude, her mom, I can't remember the name of the character. Is it Deborah Wall? I can't remember, but... The actress who plays Karen Page in the Daredevil Netflix series, well, the former Daredevil Netflix series, man, Netflix dropped the ball big time on that. Big time on that, but that's another day, it's another conversation. That actress, she was so into her role, I couldn't recognize her as anybody but Karen Page. She's just so damn good. I don't know if it's just as an actress in and of herself, or... Excuse me, like Vincent D'Onofrio. Like when that dude acts as the Kingpin, oh, he's the Kingpin. When he's the dude from the Law and Order Criminal Investigation, CI, I think it was called, whatever it was. Oh no, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? When he's Private Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, oh no, he's Gomer Pyle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's... He gets so into his roles. The guy's amazing. Ooh, and if he's going to be Thor in Adventures of Babysitting, that's the first movie appearance of the mighty Thor. I don't care what anybody says. Because that's who he was acting as. So, that's the way that she is, all right? Without as big a resume behind her, that's who she is. Love her acting. And I can't help but to relate this actress, whatever her name is, to the actress playing Karen Page. Wow. Really good. That scene with Rachel looking in the mirror as she's listening to her mom talk. and she's, you know, it's like, it's not a mirror, mind you. She's looking out the reflection in the glass out the train. But she's looking and she's seeing herself, her own reflection, not the dark-eyed one laughing back at her, you know, the dark Raven side, looking at the light Raven side. No, this is just her looking at herself, her actual true reflection in that reflection of the glass. And she just, it's like a blink and you miss it. She smirks. She smiles. Not even, it shouldn't be a smirk. Sorry, wrong word. She smiles. It's a smile of comfort. Trepidation, but comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like at any moment it could turn, you know, and go all, you know, poltergeist on you. But for now, she was comfortable. She was happy. And I felt it. I have no problem letting emotions wash over me when I watch a TV show or a movie, usually a movie. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a movie's non-committal. It's like you watch a movie, it's like, okay, it was pretty long, but I'm done. You know, I don't have to come back and sit down at same bat time, same bat channel. You know what I'm saying? I can just do my own thing. But yeah, even in a TV show that I am watching like this, I enjoy letting emotions wash over me. I like to be able to get angry at the characters and love the characters and cry for the characters and all that stuff. You know, I love that. It's very cathartic, you know. And I didn't break down or I didn't cry at any points in this, you know. And you figure I would have when she accepted Beast Boy in that little hug circle. If he would have, you know, come over, I'm just like, oh my God, that is awesome. Oh my God, this is like the awesome mom. You know what I'm saying? I really hope she doesn't change. I really hope somebody doesn't come along and cap her in the head, which seems like that's something Vince McMahon's on the side talking about. Yeah, all right. They got a really good character here, right? Dude, no. No. We don't need that, pal. I'm hoping that she stays alive. I'm hoping she stays a part of this. I hope that she makes it back to her home. And at the very least, leave her in the home. But if the home is really cool, like if it looks like the Teen Titans Tower, or I'm just saying, I know it wouldn't work in a real TV series. I know it wouldn't work in a live-action TV series. It only works in cartoons and comic books. But I'm just saying, if it was like a trailer that was up on its front end, and then you had another one up on top just crossed over, and they just welded it together, you know, with that. Maybe it's a weather vane in the shape of the Teen Titans. I know it wouldn't work in real life, all right? But even if it's just a white house with a lot of mirrors, and you know, it's like, you know, you got those houses that's like, you know, the bottom level is like this, but the second level kind of comes out just a little bit. Yeah, I would notice that, and I would be like, hey, it's Titan Towers. In a heartbeat, I'd be like that. But either way, you know, a home base, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, I'm down with that. Whether it happens or not. I'm down with that. But, what do you call it? What happened now? Okay, Donna Troy. That was probably a big thing here. Of course, I don't like the graphics in this TV series. I don't like the CGI that they use. You could tell that the character playing Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Robin, is actually has some kind of athletic skills, because when, you know, the garbage truck scene, he actually climbed over that. You could tell, oh, they sped up certain parts, whatever. Yeah, of course. And that always looks bad. It's like, you know, putting your hand on an intern who's trying to take your microphone away, as opposed to chopping your hand. You could tell the difference, right? In this particular case, what do you call it? You could tell the parts where they were speeding it up. But the parts with Donna Troy climbing over top, oh my God, you could tell that there was wires, and you could tell that it was sped up in a really horrible way, and you could tell that it sucked. Like, that was just terrible, man. I'd be like, listen, I'll take the paycheck, you know, as the choreographer here, or the wireman, or the special effects guys, but don't put my name down, because I don't need this on my resume. That's just me. That's just me. I'll take the money. I don't want the credit. Blame somebody else for that, you know? But, you know, her acting chops aside, she, a little bit in her facial expression, she doesn't move enough. That kind of bothers me. She doesn't move enough. She's always just standing there like this, you know, and, you know, oh, yes, and like it's like if somebody's moving, she'll just be like, okay, I'm going to watch you like this, and she doesn't want to move her mouth a lot. She's very warm. All right, she's beautiful. Yeah. Get that out of the way. She's very warm. She feels like a loving person, but I need her to actually move. You know what I'm saying? You could tell she can. Like that scene where she chopped that one Aussie guy. You could tell she can move. All right. But I don't know, was she nervous or something like that in the making of this? Did the director not realize that and say, okay, listen, lighten up, maybe have one of those shots that Beast Boy was drinking and just calm down, okay? Calm down and actually act, all right? You got ligaments, move them. So, but that aside, she kind of reminded me a little tiny bit of Katie Holmes back in Dawson's Creek. Yes, I used to watch Dawson's Creek. It's a freaking awesome TV show. Bite me. There were all those scenes when we all fell in love with her name was Joey in the TV series. When Joey would do that thing where she'd get a little bit nervous and she'd do that, that smile and crunch up her shoulders and duck her head and her eyes. She would do that. I can't remember the name of the girl, Suzanne Hoff from the Bangles. Walk like an Egyptian. Go back and watch the last part of that video back in the day when I was a kid, and I fell in love with her eyes. And she used to do that, walk like, and she would turn her eyes to the side. It's like, oh my God, it looks like, that Bollywood type dancing, that style that they do. But Katie Holmes used to do that in Dawson's Creek. She'd be like, Dawson, I don't know why you're doing this to me like that. And it's like, oh wow, that is beautiful. And she kind of almost had that look about her. That was cool. That was cool because that's like a really heartwarming, not tender, but like there was like not a camaraderie, but something like that. There's like a bit of a tether between you and the actress in that regard. She felt like somebody who you want to root for. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, she was awesome. She's awesome in everything she does. But she still has that look of, I don't think I know it all. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. Because we don't need characters who know it all. I don't care who the character is. I don't care who the character, who the actor is playing. I don't care. I don't need any know-it-alls. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why Batman in the comic books works differently than Batman in the TV shows or the movies, because Batman can't know everything. When he knows everything in the comic books, that's got to be one of the Justice League comic books. If you got the regular Batman or Detective comic books, if he knows everything, well, now all of a sudden the comic is boring. You know what I'm saying? And Batman in this TV show or in those movies, they don't show him knowing everything. He can't, because the moment he does, we fall out of place with Batman. You know what I'm saying? And if there's any character who we would accept that from, it would be Batman. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I don't think that we would really just fall in line and be like, yeah, of course Batman knows everything. He's Batman. He's Batman. So I like that the fact that the actress playing Donna Troy has that look helps to alleviate that sense that she can do everything. She can beat up whoever. She's got great fighting skills. She's confident beyond all belief. She knows everything. She's always right. As Dick Grayson said multiple times in the TV show, why are you always right? Yeah, I like the idea that she's got that look because it helps to balance that. Basically, like everything that's happening in the show, I'm gonna give the one scene that I really liked from Starfire. When she saw the look of recognition in that one guy's eyes, I assume he was FBI. Had to have been, right? She's like staring at him the whole time and whatnot, and she's trying to, play whatever. But the same, like, he obviously knows better than this is what he does. This is what he does. And she doesn't even have any memory. So she thought that she was completely in control. She was very confident. She's always extremely confident. I like the confidence about her. I don't like the know-it-all aspect of her, But she, when she followed the guy and then did the little flirtatious thing, like, hey, there's a reason why I'm dressed like a hooker. I'm wondering why I don't have clear heels. You know what I'm saying? And she grabs this tie and, brings him in to meet her pimp or whatever. And then she immediately starts, like, who are you? Slams him, pushes him, threatens him, actually picks him up and starts choking him. Like, wow, he's asphyxiating right there. The only thing I didn't like he was an awesome actor. He was really good, very believable in everything except his eyes didn't bulge. If you hold your breath, you know what I'm saying, for long enough, your eyes will actually start to bulge. Just whatever, maybe they could CGI, I don't know. I don't trust them with CGI here, but like literally for me, that's the only thing. When you choke somebody or somebody's being choked, your eyeballs actually start to expand. Like they start to come out like you've got a thyroid condition. They start to, you know, bulge out a little bit. And he was just more like that. And that's, but that aside, I could totally that's how much I'm nitpicking the scene to try and find something wrong with it. Because it was a great scene, even when she finally dropped him, and for once in all 8 episodes of this, you know, TV series so far, she finally questioned herself that maybe she was wrong. If go figure, it's the one time she's not. It's like a joke that I say sometimes, you know. It's like, you know, Bill, you were right. I'm always right. Well, there is one time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. Get it? Anyway, it's a dumb joke. That's what I do. So. She actually thought she was wrong for a second. She doubted herself, but not enough. She still saw those signs, and she still believed that she was somehow... She didn't believe she was right, but she also didn't think she was wrong. So I like that diaspora right there, and you could see that in her eyes. This is where some good acting actually comes out. Because everything else that she does just makes her just seem like a sociopath. It makes her seem like she's actually psychotic. Like she's got a psychopathy experiment going on inside of her head all the freaking time. And I hate that about the character. Every time she giggles, every single time she giggles, you know, she does that little laugh, you know, that little, that little thing. There are 2 times that a woman will make that noise, all right? Yes, this is Professor Bill giving some women advice right now, some female advice, all right? One is when she's on a date and she really likes you, but she's nervous, all right? She'll pull that off. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here and a woman does that to me, there's one of 2 things going on. She's flirting with me, in which case, not interested, married. The second thing is she's a psychopath. I think you understood the second one immediately, right? She's a freaking psychopath. Don't tell me she's not, man. Don't tell me she's not. But anyway, before I get into how she is, again, no, differently this time, I liked how her body kind of went stiff. She was nervous. She was still afraid she was getting... This is all in my head canon because I know this kind of a situation. She made a mistake. She got physical with somebody, but made a mistake. And now she doesn't want to be there, but she's also worried maybe she was still right. Maybe this guy's going to pull a gun on her or something like that. Maybe one of his friends is going to tackle her from behind or something. She's not sure. So she's holding down. She's hyper alert right now. And she just wants to be out of the situation, wants him to go. So she goes, go, get out of here. Whatever it is that she says. I don't remember it. But the look that she gave, the body language especially, so on point. That was so on point. That's worth going back and watching again. That was really good acting in that particular moment. All the rest, unfortunately, all the rest is just her being a psychopath, man. Dude, I remember somebody goes and makes a comment on the channel like, well, you know, if you were paying attention, and yes, this is the voice that I've got for this person in my head. Like, I don't know how to freaking pay attention. To tell you what, buddy, go 6 years in the military. See if you're not as perceptive and observant as you could possibly be, as a human being possibly could. You know, it's like, oh, there's a bug in the room. What do you mean there's a bug in the room? No, legit. There's a bug in the room right over there. You notice things. You do. It's kind of part of survival. That being said, it's always funny when somebody thinks they're so smart. So this guy says, well, you know, if you were paying attention, in one episode, they said that they just assaulted her. And if you knew something about the law, you know that the comment wouldn't be about assault. It would be about assault and battery. Assault is when I call you a jackass. A battery is when you actually physically hurt someone. That's getting physical with someone. That is battery. Assault means there was no physicality there. But hey, you know, it's cool, man. You knew that, right? So all that being the case, being what it may, yes, I do remember that scene. In fact, I'm pretty sure I commented on that in that actual video. I distinctly remember commenting on that. It's like, okay, good, they were alive, cool. But then I just washed over it in the previous video. I'm washing over it again because at the end of the day, who cares? Can anybody sit here and try and argue that she didn't kill those FBI agents? Bro, I'm the guy who was in the military for 6 years, and I hate the idea that police around the country, and I'm talking about America and Canada, are so ill-trained that we in the military were so much better trained than the police ever are. Even then, when I was a kid, it was known that the police would say, stop or I'll shoot. Halt. Freeze. They would say something like that. There was the warning. Even if you didn't get like 3 strikes. No, you got 1 warning, but you got a warning. Nowadays, you keep on seeing things on the, about the police on the news because there ain't no warning. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the car, 2 seconds later, I just shot a 12-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here's this guy who's telling me I've got a license for a gun. You say, show me the gun, and then you turn around and shoot him a couple of moments later. How many bullets did he unload? With a kid in the back seat. Oh, geez. Guy who clearly doesn't have any weapons in a state where he's allowed to have weapons. Open carry. And yet still shoot the guy for crawling across the hallway in a way that you don't like. Dude, I'm extremely, extremely hard on cops that don't actually have the proper training. They should not be cops. Done and done. Police aren't superheroes to me. All right? They're simply not. And yet, in this TV show, you got all sorts of cops who are doing a good job. You got cops who are doing a good job. That one FBI agent came out, clearly marked with FBI across his jacket and whatnot. And he says, stop or halt or freeze or whatever. But he says, stop. Not only does she not stop, after she just, mind you, after she just went and started trying to burn, it wasn't just like boom, a quick burst. She was just releasing that fire. And then what'd she do? When she finally stopped, came out and said, freeze. Yo, police, that's going above and beyond the Call of Duty at that point. That was not just a good cop, that was a damn good cop. I want that cop in my neighborhood, policing my neighborhood, making sure that the wrong person isn't going to get killed. Unfortunately, that'll never happen now because she stone cold murdered him. Not just, turned around and said, I'm not going to stop. No, she said, okay, my hands are up, I'm going to stop. I am so sick and tired of freaking Starfire. This character who they're calling Starfire on this TV series. Go ahead. Somebody tell me that you're happy that she's a straight up cop killer, murderer of police, of people who she doesn't know if they're guilty or not. You go ahead. Go ahead. Defend her now. I'm waiting. Yeah, no, she didn't actually kill the cop. She assault and battery. She assaulted them before. So I don't know how observant are you? You think that cop? You think any of those FBI, those federal agents, you think any of them got off that train? Yo, she straight up murdered all those people. You can sit here and say it's because of the freaking asylum and all this and all that stuff. Sure, what was the excuse before she went to the asylum? So listen, this ain't Starfire. And what I'm really hoping to find is that not only is she not Starfire, not only is she not really Corey, but they're showing, you saw that ending scene, right? That looked cool. It looks like she actually is going to be a Temerian, and she's going to be coming down from, but she's got this mission to kill Raven. Okay, here's how you fix this, DC Comics. I'm being straight up legit with this, and you want my permission to use it? Here's my video consensus to take the damn thing. I'm assuming that you already got this in plan. This is not actually Starfire. That in fact, she's a criminal from Tamaran whose mission is to come down here and kill Raven because Raven is going to be able to find out where the true princess of Tamaran is. And then boom, all of a sudden, aha! That's the real Starfire. This was an imposter. So we're going to kill her because, or just send her back to her planet. That's actually her sister. That's actually Corey's sister. Go ahead. All the comic book fans, all the Teen Titan cartoon fans, all of you, tell me that would not be better than what's actually happening now. I await your comments. Like, I'm being legit, man. Please let me find out that this is not actually, because I've been saying it the whole time anyway. This isn't her. And this is such an easy fix, man. She's actually the bad guy. And you can continue using the same actress. Just make her stop doing the giggle crap, all right? I don't need all the giggle craps. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. I don't need all that. Let me just see that. And stop showing me the Zack Snyder prison rape Batman scenes, because I don't want to see them anymore, dude. Like, that's all I'm asking. I don't think I'm asking for much. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.